ready? Super. Thanks, everybody. And the floor's open for Dean Elgar.
Dean, Aussie boys are saying that they're really excited about the series and what has been said back home after what has been quite an extensive summer for the coaches. What's the feeling in this team?
I think the feeling's very mutual in our camp. I think we're extremely excited for this test series against Aussies. It's always a good battle against them, whether you're playing at home or away. It's always a great contest. So we are very much looking forward to the 4 tests. It's nice to actually have a series that's longer than 3 tests as well, which is nice for us. Yeah, so we're very excited, and I'm pretty sure the boys will all be ready to go on Thursday.
A lot has been made of the South African pace attack and the Australian pace attack. You think that perhaps maybe a Nathan Lyon or Keshav Maharaj might have made influence?
I think either way they're going to have an influence in a test, even if it's them holding up an end or even if it's them trying to be attacking, which maybe some surfaces might allow them to come more into the game. But yeah, it is a little bit of the battle of the seamers at the moment, but saying that there are 2 very good world-class spinners within both sides, which is exciting for us, and it's most probably going to be very exciting test cricket as well.
Yes, yes.
Fond memories for the Proteas playing against the Aussies, especially the last series that you guys won, and also for you scoring that 102nd innings at Perth. You also scored 80 odd in the window here last. Just talk us through that, how much confidence you guys take in performances like that, especially the last 2 you guys were in Australia.
Excuse me. Yeah, I think our previous encounter is a fond memory for us. Having the ability to beat them in Australia is also a very, very encouraging factor for us going into this series, knowing that the last time we played against each other, we had the upper hand. But saying that it's a new series and it's a blank piece of paper starting on Thursday, and anything can happen. Both test sides have had very good records the last year or 2 within the test cricket arena, which is exciting, and I'm sure it's gonna be promising for both sides going into that. And yeah, personally, it's nice to have gained a bit of experience against various oppositions, and yeah, it's just nice knowing that you've contributed in previous series to your side, especially in a winning series kind of moment. Yeah, so it's nice personally knowing that potentially you can have the upper hand against your opposition if things go your way. But Test cricket is a very fickle format, and we know anything can happen on the day. And yeah, you just got to try your best. You got to obviously prepare quite hard for these kind of test series. So yeah, personally, that's just the way I'm going to be looking at it in the preparation factor. I'm not really looking too much in the past of what's happened. So yeah, I'm also very excited. I'm pretty sure everyone is for this series. I think my reaction's quite mutual within our team. I think it's a bit of a shock kind of sensation, because you don't expect a guy to be retiring so soon. He's been playing 12 years of professional cricket, but I guess that's a long time in its own right, and I'm sure each individual would feel that he's still got a lot more to give. But being as it may, we respect his decision, and he's provided South African cricket with 12 years of unbelievable professionalism within the side, and I'm sure his hard work that he's done on the field and off the field is a massive credit towards him.
I know you're very close with Aiden, and obviously after the last series you had quite a few errors. What have you done in getting ready for this series against Australia?
I think it's very important just to try and clear his mind. He's had 7 to 10 days off from the game, which is potentially very good for him because of the way things ended in the Indian ODIs. But Aiden's got a strong head, and he's definitely going to take in a lot of info, and it's just important for him to use whatever info he feels is going to credit his game. Yeah, but it's always tough to see a guy go through that. But Aiden's mightily talented, and a cricketer for South African future, and he's definitely going to bounce back. I know he's put in a lot of hard yards yesterday, and he'll do it again today, and I'm pretty sure he'll do it tomorrow again. So that's just the way he is. That's his mentality. I think that going into this kind of test series, I think he realizes he can't take his talent for granted at this level. It's almost like you got to over prepare at this level to try and make your game on point.
Yes, Dan.
You mentioned the question was made for Elizabeth match 4 years ago in your innings, but does that game provide a bit of a blueprint for the way to beat Australia, given they emphasise high pace and that sort of attack, having to slow wicket and need patience to reverse a bit?
I think that's just the way of playing cricket, for instance, at that one venue. But that's happened so long ago, 4 years ago. I mean, they've got a new side basically, and so do we. We've only got a few faces left over from that very series. But it's encouraging knowing that we have beaten them in South Africa. We maybe don't have the proudest of records in South Africa against them, but we do know that there's a formula for us to try and maybe stick at, and in order to beat them.
Yes, Ben.
You mentioned about the battle of the bowling attacks. Do you think this will be quite an aggressive series? I mean, the two sides have been at each other, I guess, every time they play, but in terms of bowling and bounces and things like that, are you racing for it to be quite aggressive?
I do think there's going to be an element of it, definitely. I don't think it's going to be throughout the whole series. I think Test cricket ebbs and flows so much that there's going to be times for those kind of measures throughout the series. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to have our various ways of tackling their batting lineup, and as I'm pretty sure they'll have their own ways of tackling our batting lineup. But yeah, usually it's a pretty proud series when South Africans play against Australians. I think there's a lot of pride at stake, and but also saying that there's a lot of respect between the two teams, and you're going to try your best to try and beat each other. That's ultimately why we're playing the game. That's ultimately why I'm sure people want to watch series like this. You want to kind of see the battle between bat and ball, and whoever's the fittest and the fastest will most probably come out on tops.
What can we expect from this pitch?
I don't know. I haven't played a game here since the last Test match we played against England. It was quite low and slow, but that's generally how I think Durban's wickets have changed over the years. So yeah, I don't see it being too dissimilar to what we've had against England. But saying that, it still produced a very good Test match for both sides.
Just on pitches, are you looking forward to generally calmer conditions than you had against India recently?
I wouldn't say Test cricket produces a lot of calm conditions. I think the intensity is always going to be there. But maybe the conditions of where we play and being at the coast, it maybe does create a bit more of a slower nature of the game. Saying that, like I've just mentioned about the intensity, it's whatever intensity you put on the field is going to be the pace of play. So, yeah, whether we've got the ball in hand or they got the ball in hand, I'm pretty sure it's going to be an intense affair. I think that's what Test cricket obviously has lacked a little bit, and it's definitely picking up its head with regards to that kind of intensity of play.
We have the last 15 minutes.
Dean, can you just maybe speak a bit about the three Australian quicks, what their individual strengths are?
I think they've vastly developed bowling attack. Stark and Hazelwood been there for many a year now, and they've obviously honed their skills in various respective formats. And a guy like Pat Cummins who's good for the game, because every time he showed glimpses of rising up, he gets injured. So it's actually good to see him staying in the game longer than usual. But yeah, I don't really want to talk too much about their bowlers. I mean, I'd rather just focus more on our strengths and weaknesses and what we can control going into the series, starting on Thursday. So yeah, it's going to be a great affair either way, and it's I'm pretty sure people are excited for this.
That's right. No questions involved.
Good. Anything on our batters? Nothing.
Yeah. That's the innings in first that you had in the century. But you take a bit of confidence that particularly someone like Mason Martin.
Yeah, I remember we were under the pump in that test because I think they equalled our first inning score, so we had to have a relatively good second innings score going into that the further of that test. I mean, it's just how Test cricket unfolds. I mean, it gives you a lot of confidence knowing that yes, you've come out on top against certain bowling attacks. But yeah, Nathan's also another guy who's developed his game and his skill in Test cricket in leaps and bounds, and it's going to be awesome to face him because I haven't faced him since the previous encounter in Australia, I think 2 years ago. So he's come a long way as a bowler as well. But saying that, I'm pretty sure he's going to have his game plans and his set ways about going to approach our batters. So yeah, it's either way. They've got good quicks. They've got good spin bowler, which is good for us, knowing that this is going to be really, really hard work and a massive challenge for us. Well, we go through our analysis like we do before every series. There's been a lot of footage of him bowling of late in the Ashes, but I do think conditions is totally different now, and we got to prepare to our strengths, as I mentioned earlier. We can look at opposition as much as you want, but you got to ultimately focus on your game more than focusing on the opposition. I think if you prepare well against whoever you're playing against, it's a massive positive in the right direction for a team and for the individual. Yeah, I think AB's quality just proved recently against the Indian attack in that series. A guy with that ability and that experience you can't throw away. I think even AB at 50% fit is going to be a massive credit for any team. So, but yeah, it's good to see AB fully fit now and raring to go. And yeah, he's a massive asset. Even if he's not contributing with the bat, he's contributing with his words that he has to say in the change room. And a guy with that experience and knowledge speaks volumes within the walls that you sit in. So it's good to have him back in the change room. We know he's a massive player for us and he's been that for years. And I'm pretty sure he's also ready to go. He's had some time off now as well, which always seems to work in his favour because he tends to come back a lot more hungrier than what he did leaving the game. So yeah, it's good to have him and he's always going to be a massive part of our unit.
I know you're not a selector, but throughout the series against India, you guys picked 5 bowlers. Do you think that you will follow that blueprint against this India series, or do you think 7 batsmen will be?
I'm going to answer this question in the biggest way possible, but I'd like to see all the bowlers play and the spinner. But I think against Australia, you potentially maybe have to slow the game down. Which they most probably aren't used to that. So I think a guy like Kesh he's played well against him in the past when we played in Australia. So I think he'll also play a big part within the series. Whether or not we play more quicks than what we usually do or less quicks than what we usually do is up to the captain, the coach, and the selectors, or whatever formula they want to go with in the various respective grounds.
Just on the 2 debutantes in the squad, we saw chances given to some players in the Indian series. Do you think that they might get their chance at some stage?
Anything can happen, but I do think in Test cricket, when you've been playing with the same side and the same squad, you've got to try and keep your playing 11 as simple as possible. This is a big series. But saying that, anything can happen, injuries can happen, and that's part of the game, and you're going to have very good, strong backup. And having a guy like Classy in, who's done very well against India now, and Vian's come in and he seems to be a raw talent, which I haven't really seen much of him play, but I know they speak volumes about his ability. So it's good to have those guys around, knowing that you've got some solid backup players, and I mean they can get called on at any stage of the series. Whether it may be out of form players or injuries. So it's good to have good resources, but I'm pretty sure our final 11 will be pretty stock standard as what we've been used to.